Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. As I said, I had to go back and watch the video and figure out what I was going to make a second video about. So I'm going to talk about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Alright. So, here's how this works. I've been doing martial arts since I was 7 years old. I've been street fighting since I was 6 years old. And no way in hell is that relevant in this video right now. But I just wanted to put that out there. So, when I joined the Army, down at Fort Benning, Georgia, when I was in Bravo, we were doing Taekwondo. But because I was fucked up, they never let me spar. But since I already knew Taekwondo, I wasn't missing anything because they basically were only teaching the soldiers in Bravo that I had already been with shit that I already knew. They were teaching them basic Taekwondo. They weren't talking about how you hold your kick in the air and all this other shit and the lightning tap kicks and all that. They were just basically teaching them basic Taekwondo. Okay? And, I forgot the name of the sergeant, but he was really enthusiastic and he really loved Taekwondo, and the teacher that he admired the most had the same last name as him. And it was on the quiz, which I didn't get to take because I was in sick call. Anyway, moving on. When I got to Delta, we started learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Now, here's where I piss all you BJJ guys off. I have nothing personally against anybody who does BJJ. Nothing against it at all. I learned BJJ, and I'll be the first one to tell you that I completely, totally fucking suck at it. Completely, totally, without question, unadulterated. There's no force on God's green earth that can ever make me better at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But I am the king of adaptation, and I am the king of the impossible. So let me explain this to you, because I made a couple of videos about this shit, and some of the shit that I feel tested works, and some of the shit I don't. Alright? So, I'm going to put it to you, when I was being trained in the military, in fucking Delta, and learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I was getting my ass handed to me left and right. I could not roll the guy that they set on me off to save my life. Understand, the dude was sitting across my body. He's sitting across my torso. He's got me by my blouse. I know, you're like, what the fuck is a blouse? So, when we were in the military, and we did GFT, this is a blouse. I think they went back to greenery now, so this is urban. I'm not going to swear to that, but this was the blouse that I wore. This is not the exact blouse because they took all that shit back. I got this from the Hall Street outlet. Couldn't find a pair of pants that could fit me. I actually have 2 of these. So I'm laying on my back in a shirt just like this. Alright. And it's closed. And the guy's got me by the lapel. Alright? Tight grip, and his arms are crossed. So he looks like this. And he's got me this way and this way. And my arms, I have one on his arm here, on my left arm on his right arm. No, I'm not doing the Macarena. I'm just showing you. My left arm was on his right arm, and my right arm was across his left and right arm. Now, I'm supposed to put my arm here, this arm up here, on his arms, and roll this big motherfucker off me. I can tell you how many times that actually worked. Anybody want to guess? Anybody? Of course. There's nobody here but me, right? Goose egg times is how many worked. It never fucking worked. The dude outweighed me by 177 fucking pounds. I was 130, and he was every bit 210, if not more. He was like 6'5", 6'9". He was a tall son bitch. So, me attempting to roll him off wasn't working. Now, in the few times that he let me roll him off was just to appease the drill sergeant. He had no problem throwing my 130-pound ass around. At all. When I got him in the lapel position, cross-armed, straight-armed, my little ass was gone. What did I learn from hitting the mat? I learned that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is not fucking for me. I better learn how to counter this shit, and I better learn how to counter it fucking fast. Henceforth, I am the king of adaptation. Now, as we got in and as we got rolling deep, you know, I learned a few more tricks, but we mostly stuck with the getting the guy off you technique, which, again, I sucked at until I started headbutting him in the fucking private parts. I mean, he was already taller than me, so it wasn't a big deal for me to lift him up and hit him in the nuts with my forehead versus me trying to roll his big ass off me. I got caught. I got caught a couple of times. I had to get into the front lean and rest position because you're not supposed to hurt your training partner for one, and you're supposed to do what drill sergeants and them tell you to do, not what you've learned in the streets. So, just for the record, if you go into the Army, you're supposed to do what the drill sergeants and them tell you to do, not what you learned in the streets. Granted, sometimes what you learn in the streets will save your ass a lot better than the shit that I learned during GFT. Okay? I'm just going to be honest with you. GFT means good fucking time. But when we were doing the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu shit, and I was getting flung around like a rag doll, I came to one conclusion. God, I fucking suck at this shit. So, they couldn't fuck with me with the pugil sticks, because I work a bow staff very well. And that's about the only thing that they really couldn't beat me at, which is why the drill sergeant sent 2 in at a time sometimes. I was like, nah, you ain't get me with that. I know what I'm doing with this shit. It's like, you study martial arts? Man, I've been studying martial arts since I was 6 years old. Luckily, I've been studying since I was 7. But, you know, for all medicinal purpose, I basically started when I turned 7. So I was still probably 6. But at the same time, you know, boom, boom, boom. You know, those pugil sticks, they're really big, they're really thick, and they're made out of, like, pipe lining. Man, I worked them some bitches up so good, and then Fagin happened. Fagin hit my stick into my nuts because he cheated. And that was the only way they could bring me down. But other than that, they couldn't fuck with James. You know, James was the shit. Back to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu now, we got that off the way. So, I learned 3 things about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that I, personally, know what I need to do to counter. A lot of MMA fights, a lot of UFC fights, they always seem to nowadays take that shit to the ground. I'm not a ground and pounder. I have a ground game. It ain't shit. So I'm not going to let you get me to the ground. You have to get me to the ground if you're going to ground and pound. But also, you got to understand that when people are coming to get you to the ground, they have to grab your body to do that. You don't have to let that shit happen. Here's where I piss off all you people who bust your ass studying, rolling, and doing BJJ. I'm not going to say BJJ is useless. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put down any martial art, not even Sistema and Kamaga, because I haven't learned those two, so I don't know if they're useless or not. I'm pretty sure I could take something from them and put it in my repertoire. However, same thing like I said with BJJ. Even though I suck at that shit, I'm pretty sure I can still use it. You know, if I'm on the ground, I do have a ground game because I learned BJJ. Again, I suck at it, but you don't suck at shit as long as you can stay focused and think on how you can beat somebody's ass with what little bit did you have. Henceforth, king of that adaptation. If somebody's coming down at you, they're coming for a single leg or a double leg. There ain't no reason why they can't eat a knee. Oh, well, there is a reason if you're not aware that they're about to do that. But you can see them coming in. I mean, unless you're got low blind spots or some shit. I'm already short, so you're going to have to duck to come scoop me up. And I'm used to people trying to scoop me up anyway. So you have to learn how to prevent that shit. This is what stops BJJ and ground and pounders. You're coming in at me. My defense is really simple. Give them a knee. If I can't give them a knee, crunch. Tuck and crunch. Put both my knees into their chest and both my elbows into their shoulder blades. Because I'm going to knock the air out of them here. No. But if I put my knees in the chest, it would be easy for me to rotate that shit into a triangle. Alright? And if that doesn't work, I can rotate it into an arm bar. You have to be able to use an arm bar. Arm bars are not just taught in BJJ, people. It's also taught in Judo. It's also taught in Jiu-Jitsu. Not Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but Jiu-Jitsu, the kind where you stand up Jiu-Jitsu. It's also taught in Judo. It's also taught in Kempo. It's also taught in Wing Chun. So you have grappling techniques in all martial arts. And they're pretty much all the same. They just have different names because of the region of the martial art that you're taking. You know, an arm bar from China is still an arm bar in Japan. They just decide, are you going to do the Fujiwara one, or are you going to do the one that Asuka always does from the WWE, where she jumps up, flips, and body slams you and shit at the same time? Yeah, that shit. I ain't going for all that because I'm not down with hurting myself trying to hurt you. But if I get you in that Fujiwara and I got you down here, or if I get you in the chicken wing or some other armbar hole, you better believe I'm going to beat your ass the entire time while I'm trying to hold you in that move. Because you're not just going to lay there and let that shit happen. No one stands there and takes an ass whooping. Nobody that I am familiar with. I could be wrong. But at 47, I'm pretty close to right when it comes to you young motherfuckers, unless you're just damn stupid. I mean, if you're retarded and you like getting punched, well, then I guess you're the exception to the rule where you're going to stand there and just get your ass beat. Works for me, because I'm going to be the one giving the ass whooping versus receiving the ass whooping. Let me quote M. Bison really swiftly from Street Fighter. Anyone who opposes me will be destroyed. It is better to give pain than receive it. Those are two of the best quotes that you will ever hear in your fucking lifetime. Whether you choose to believe it or not, it's up to you. But I'm going to guarantee you this. I'm not down with feeling pain. Even though I do know the iron body technique. Yes, it is a real technique. No, you don't have to believe me and I don't care. But the fact of the matter is that it is a real technique. Just like the iron butterfly. Do you have to believe that? No, you don't. Can you Google it? Yeah, you can. Is it going to be the same shit that I was taught? Probably not. But the fact of the matter is, you got to get me on my back for your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to be effective. Now, also understand this, that just because I'm on my back doesn't mean your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is going to win. Now, some people fight better on their backs. A lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys want you to put them on their back. They want you to side mount or full guard or side control, all the shit that I can't get right when it comes out my mouth. But some of the motherfuckers want you that way so they can get you in a toe lock or a heel hook or anything that's going to make you tap out. Not the kid, buddy. You coming at me with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that's your fucking funeral. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to piss off anybody who does BJJ. I'm not dissing your art. But I'm telling you, personally, that's your ass. Because as soon as you go down, knees coming up. I'm not gonna stand there and just let you whoop my ass. We got a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Now there is the other Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Jiu-Jitsu, I'm not sure which one it is, where you both sit like Indian style and one guy's behind you and you gotta roll them off and all that bullshit. I'm not down with that shit. I don't like that martial art. It does not look like it's something that I would prefer to do. I would rather do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu where I start on my back and then you side guard or full mount or whatever the fuck it is. Because I can work with that versus that sit down Indian style shit. Now you can see I haven't really been taught that. I've been taught the other Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and I've been taught Jiu-Jitsu. But every teacher teaches someone something else differently. I can teach you Wing Chun, where we stand in a southpaw fighting position, because that was the position that I was taught in. It doesn't mean I'm right, doesn't mean I'm wrong, it just means that's the position that I was taught in. So for Wing Chun, you know, Kung Fu, you know, same shit. Wushu, totally different ballgame. If I'm sitting here and I smack and then I elbow and then I spin and do another elbow, or I smack, elbow, and then spin around with a tornado kick, you know, Wushu. It's super flashy. And I no longer can do it because the doctor says so. So, you get the gist. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm on you. Side mount. Potato chip. Full mount. Another potato chip. You know, I'm on top. Alright? Doesn't mean I'm going to win. It just means that if I can't keep side mount or full guard or full control, it just means that you're going to take over. You're going to flip me. Or you're going to get me to where your legs are so that you can get down there where my legs are and put me in a heel hook or a toe grab or whatever the hell, you know, you're going to make me tap. Pure and simple. You're going to try to make me tap. And I don't believe in really tapping. I believe in fighting until the end. If we're in geese, I got a fighting chance because I can use your gi against you. If it's skin on skin, I don't like body contact. I don't like sweat from other dudes. But, you know, you don't have to wear your shirt, but I'll fucking wear mine. Fuck that shit. Because I can go wring that sweat off, get another shirt. I'm sorry, I'm a big germaphobe. The only time that I would ever go gi-less is if I was, like, training with a girl. Because I prefer women's sweat on me versus a man's sweat. Alright? I know that sounds really fucking funky and perverted and everything, but look, I'm not really getting other dudes' sweat on me. It's just not like the thing that I would prefer to do. I mean, it's not like it's a crime or anything, but yeah. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Side control, full mount, full guard, all the shit that's going to be wrong coming out my mouth because I suck at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Pure simple. But like I said, you have to get me down for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to be effective. You have to get me down for your ground and pound game to be effective. But if you can't get me down, and if you can't keep me down, then your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is useless. Not against everyone else, but against me. Because I found ways to adapt to that shit. And way number one is, when you're coming in for a single or underhook or a double takedown, is I'm going to knee you in the face. I'm sorry. I know it's unsportsmanlike, but I believe in street fighting. And if you're coming in, you're getting a knee. If my arm is closer, you're getting an elbow. I may Muay Thai uppercut the shit out of your ass, you know, because you're coming at me. Your momentum is going to control my outcome of this fight. If you're coming at me fast enough where I can just sidestep and jam a knee into you, that's exactly what's going to happen. If you're coming at me so fast and I can't, then I'm going to put my knees up. So when you scoop me and I lock my hand around your head because you're about to body slam me, my knees are going to be in the position somewhere in here. So when you're not thinking about that shit, when you body slam me, my knees are going to be where you're going to get that shit too. That's going to buy me time. Now, in the event that I fuck up and I go down flat on my back and my legs are open and you're going to be in like the having gay sex position, you know, where my legs are open and locked around your shit, you know, I fucked up. Simple as that. Now my ass is yours. Unless I can figure out how to manipulate you into side control. But I don't want you in side control because side control is one heartbeat away from me tapping out for an arm bar. Because you're going to hyperextend my elbow because you're in side control. See, knowing what some things are can keep your ass from getting fucked up. So if you tackle me and my legs are open and I go down on my back and you got top mount, I'm body blowing. I'm not worried about you punching me in the face. I'm body blowing. Kidneys, ribs, something that's going to make you feel something to get you off me. And if I can't do that, I'm going to elbow you in your femur. You know, because your center of your femur is very, very sensitive. People don't know that shit. But I'm going for your femurs or I'm going for your interplane lines. But that's only if I fuck up. I don't plan on fucking up. If I see you coming at me, I'm ready to strike a knee. I'm sorry. Is it legal? I don't know. Never fought in a professional fight. But I know in the streets, I'm going to strike you with a fucking knee. And you're going to know two things that happen. Rule number one, don't fuck with James. Rule number two, this is what happens when you fuck with James. There will be a price to pay. I'm sorry for swearing. But the simple fact of the matter is, you know, if I can't stop you from getting me down, I'm damn sure going to make sure that you don't keep me down. It very well be that if you tackle me and I judo roll your shit, because that can be an option too. Something that I probably should have said at the beginning besides a knee or an elbow is if you're tucking and I lock under your belly and I judo throw your ass over top of me when we go down, and I could possibly roll and keep a hold of you and roll and land on top of you and put you in a cross-arm choke position. Yes, I know what that is. Probably most of you don't know, but I think military Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu are probably two different organization things. I don't know regular Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I know military combative Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which I stated at the beginning of this video. I fucking suck at it. Doesn't mean I can't fight. It just means I'm not good at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Everything else, though, you're gonna work. It's just as simple. We get into a match, you're going to fucking work. Period. Thanks for watching, y'all. Kung Fu Havoc number 2. B, C, and U. If I can stop the curse.